So guys, in today's video we are talking about the loaded question. This is the weapon that you can get from this week's Nightfall, and as of this video going live, you should have just about over 24 hours, or this weapon will be no longer available as the weekly reset will have hit. But if you're watching this at a later date, you possibly have less than 24 hours to obtain this weapon, and I would highly advise that you at least get a somewhat decent roll of this weapon, as it is really strong in both PvP and PvE. We're going to get into all of it in today's video in terms of perks and what you should be looking out for. But before we get into that, if you're going to enjoy the video, remember to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, as there's a lot of you who watch my content that aren't actually subscribed. Doing so is free to do and it really helps me out a lot. We're close to hitting 500 subscribers, halfway to 1,000, which is my goal to hit by the end of the year. So if you can help me with that, I would greatly appreciate it. Let's just jump into today's video. So for this loaded question, if you do the GM Nightfall this week, you will be able to get the Adept version where you'll be able to equip it with Adept mods. The role that I have here is Envious Assassin and Controlled Burst. The PvE Controlled Burst is really what you're going to be wanting in that secondary slot, as it gives you the damage boost that a Reservoir Burst would give you, except it's for the entire magazine as long as you hit every pellet in the Fusion Rifle's burst. This here, landing every shot in a burst grants this weapon increased damage and reduced charge time, which is very strong. Pairing that with a secondary trait that is able to either overflow your magazine or auto reload the weapon will also be really strong. For me, I was lucky enough to get Envious Assassin, but we're now going to head over to Loadout.gg and see what other perks this thing can roll with and which ones I would recommend. So we have Loadout.gg here open. PvE wise, the main three perks in this first column of traits here is going to be Envious Assassin, Overflow, or Auto-Loading Holster. I would personally recommend either Envious Assassin or Overflow over Auto-Loading Holster, so you're able to get the increased magazine size, but auto-loading isn't too bad either. And obviously, like I said before, Controlled Burst is what you're going to want in that secondary column. As it says here, it'll increase your damage by 20% and decrease charge time by 10%, which is the same damage boost pretty much provided by a Reservoir Burst, except for the benefit of you having it for the entire magazine, which makes it really strong. The only other fusion that is able to roll with Controlled Burst currently is the Techian Force fusion rifle from the Last Wish raid. So if you don't feel like grinding out red borders for that Last Wish fusion rifle, this is going to be your next best option in terms of fusion rifles that can roll with Controlled Burst. For PvP, you've obviously got Eye of the Storm, Under Pressure, Firmly Planted, all that other good stuff, but by now you probably already have a good PvP fusion that you like. But if you don't, you have this as well. I'd highly recommend you grab this fusion if you are interested in using fusions whatsoever. Very strong perks that this thing can get, and you only have roughly around 24 hours left to obtain this until it rotates out. Obviously, you'll be able to obtain it again when it rotates back in, but we don't know when that will be happening, so grab it whilst you can. That's all I have for you guys today though in this video, so if you've enjoyed, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.